If you are still here, welcome in. I'm Bank. Welcome back to my channel. We are doing a review of today's session. Today, we tattooed a client from 2019, and they originally wanted to get two different pieces, but they decided on just one, and they also had me not resize it, but reconfigure it to the point where it was extended up their arm, because originally when they messaged me, I was under the assumption that it was like the size of a half a sleeve, but it in length ended up being longer than half a sleeve. I accepted this because it's not a full snake. A full snake I would have charged more for, considering scales, width, length, in juxtaposition of how she wanted it to be positioned on her body. Which, because it's forever, I can totally respect the entire idea and concept, the flow of how she wanted it up her arm, instead of just being on like her forearm or wrapping around, one piece of her arm. When she said the middle, I figured, it could go directly right here, and I even used my arm for placement. And when I sent her the picture of when I stenciled it, I even sent her that picture of my arm, of it on top of my arm to show her the size. So, but she had tattoos already. So she briefed me on those. One was a Volkswagen, a car. I don't know what else. She had a smiley face. So that's what we end up going in between. And that's also the reason that the stencil looks extremely funny. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't too confident about when I placed it and drew it. I was kind of like, she's not gonna vibe with this in the mirror. But she vibed with it. Not only that, some people are so difficult. I don't know if it's like I've built up a trust with certain clients, but some people are so difficult that if they had asked me to do what she asked me to do, they would then ask me to stencil it by hand, or, they would assume I would just print it up. But in my case, stencil it by hand and replace it on them the way they wanted. But she was so trusting. She let me freehand it with the Sharpie. And the thing about the Sharpie is I try to tell people, because you're not the artist and you are the client and you are the one sitting in the chair, I understand. But you have to understand, like, from an artist's point of view, the Sharpie is not going to do what a pen could do or anything like that. And it's going to be a lot left up to your imagination if an artist has to freehand. So I was very appreciative for just being trusting of me drawing up those blue markers as the pieces of the rib cage, and her knowing, like, I'm going to go detail those. They're not going to just be pyramids, little triangles going up, they're going to be actual little indentions to make it look like they're twisting and turning at certain points. There was something that she asked me to do as well before the session. She asked me if I could possibly stipple in the shading that was originally underneath the snake. And of course, this is everything before I knew I was even going to be changing the positions and elongating it. But I think that was a genius idea to bring some femininity to the piece, because an exoskeleton is pretty tough. It's pretty tough, but it's also pretty masculine, if I'm explaining it right. So we added stippling shading, which it can't really be seen from afar because it is that fine. But if you look closely, you will see maybe 100 dots that I hand stippled in. And the interesting part about that is when I was at the supplier, I did see a machine that is the brand of machines that I like that personally just does stippling. It was actually the first machine that I tested. But honestly, I couldn't tell, because working on practice skin without ink, I'm not feeling like the stroke or the throw or none of that to my machine. So I don't know, that might be something that I end up investing in. And as you can see, on my own tattoos, I am applying that aftercare that I have been talking so highly to you guys about. And again, I'm not sponsored, but if I was to be sponsored by someone, it would definitely be HP Hustle Butter. And guys, they even have ones that have like sativa in it if you're that uppity for your tattoos and your aftercare, you can be. So basically, if you have ideas, I majority of the time say yes to them, and sometimes they turn out to be a complete blast. And she did take my advice because she had one more idea that I said no to, which was making the tattoo softer, which I actually understood what she meant when I saw her car tattoo, the Volkswagen. It is very light, but if I had have done that, but I was tempted to touch it up, but that requires payment. So a solid tattoo is a real tattoo. And if I had have done that car from the rip, it would be dark as this tattoo that I just did on her today. Even the stippling to me is a variation of, it has some depth to it. I didn't stop at stippling a few dots, like each little area underneath certain pieces of the rib cage of the snake, even its head underneath, has stippling. And it has like maybe 30 little dots in that area, just stippled by hand. Like I said, they make a machine now for this, so might have to invest in that because I'm catching up to myself with mandalas and stippling now, which I'm very grateful for. I have been wanting to stipple. It's actually like one of the easiest art forms that I just naturally did in high school, so I'm fine with that. But some ideas, again, I will say no to. I will, just for the sake of a good portfolio piece and understanding that you want a piece with longevity, and I want a piece with longevity. And last but not least, I'm gonna leave you with this. So you can get in touch with me through Instagram, The Mouse of Ink. I left that up there. The Mouse of Ink 13 on Instagram is my portfolio page. You can reach out to me there. And you can Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Pay, all that. Will get you hooked up with everything, all the links. Just DM me. My consultations are mobile. If you guys want a video to understand that, I don't mind explaining it. It's just like that. I don't try to inspire people to do what I do or explain what I do so other people can like try to replicate it and just mess themselves up because it's just too early in the game for them. Stuff like that. But that's why you need to just DM me directly. We'll have a conversation and see if you're ready to get tattooed. Yeah. So deposit when you're ready, and you can pull up to the studio or you can pull up to the casa. I know that's weird seeing an artist juxtapose and go between and go everywhere and travel and stuff at the same time, but that's a part of being an independent tattoo artist. All right. So I'll see you guys, and this has been your 2025 March update.